Here's a pop quiz. What is the difference between this man and this anime girl? It's actually a trick question. They're the same person. Let's try again. What about these two? Yep, you guessed it. They're the same person again. And these two? Well, okay, don't be stupid. These two are very obviously different people. So about 6 months ago, I started playing this new anime gacha game called Attack on Time. And I thought at first it was going to be a game where I could feed my gambling addiction, but there are two really big things that really surprised me. I mean, I was astounded. This game was basically softcore hentai. I had no idea how this game was allowed on the App Store. And I was just about to uninstall the game until I saw something that really caught my eye. And admittedly, there's a lot of things in this game that catch your eye, but this one really took the cake. It was a name. Now see, to anybody who's not Chinese, this name is going to look like complete gibberish, but to any self-respecting Chinaman, this is the name of a legend. He was a genius, an engineer. He was a legend whose name is remembered 2,000 years after he died. And look how they massacred my boy. With several collectible skins. He even has a beach day skin where his animation is... And the moment I saw this animation, I flew into an outraged fury. Who are the sons of bitches who made this game? I asked myself. And I looked at the company who made it, and it turns out that it was a bunch of Chinamen who were based in Hong Kong. And I was like, oh, a bunch of Chinamen made this game. Shit. And the more I looked at the characters of this app, I felt like Mr. Incredible in that one scene where every single swipe, it was just another hero of China getting turned into a gacha-fied waifu. I just grew more horrified and confused and enraged and mildly interested, actually. I mean, some of the character designs for this are really good, actually. And while I was playing this game, I couldn't help but feel a little bit guilty because I felt like I was letting down my ancestors a little bit. But I was like, you know, this game is just so good that I feel like you guys should probably forgive me just a little bit, right? And while we're on the topic of my ancestors, you remember this guy from the beginning of the video? Yeah. Fun fact about him. This guy's my great times like 100 grandfather. So, yeah. Now see, I didn't know this when I first started playing the game. I didn't know that he was my ancestor, and it was only recently that I found out that he was even related to me. I was recently watching a Chinese historical drama with my mom, and then this guy, Guan Yu, appeared on the show. And so I wanted to look smart in front of my mom, so I turned to her and I was like, did you know that guy, Guan Yu? He's like a military commander. Did you know that? Did you know that, Mom? And in the back of my mind, I was like, yes, I'm so smart. I know this because I read his character bio in-game. And my mom turns to me and she's like, yeah, dipshit, of course you know him. He's our ancestor. What, you think you're special? And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, like my maiden name is Guan, and that's because we're descendants of his clan. And at that moment, what she said just sinks in, and it is complete horror. Because the week before that conversation happened, I had spent $20 on this game, and it was the first time that I've ever spent money on any free-to-play game ever. And you know why I spent that $20? Is to obtain Guan Yu, the character in-game. And you might be thinking, oh my god, you are so stupid. Why would you ever play this game if you knew that there was a chance, like even a sliver of possibility, that your ancestor was going to be in it and that you might unknowingly simp for your ancestor? And in my defense, like I always just assumed that any ancestors I had would be like a bunch of rice farmer peasants, not that he would be like a legendary warrior or something. And some of you might be also asking, how did it feel to realize that you spent $20 simping for your ancestor? And to put it into context, just like imagine that you went to the club and everything was dark, and in the heat of a moment, you just started making out with a stranger, and then the lights came on and it turns out that the stranger was like your grandma or like cousin or something. And if you take like the pain and confusion that you felt in that exact moment, it would probably be like 1% of the pain that I felt. Yeah, I know, my life is really difficult. Like, before I learned this information, I looked at this character and I was like, oh my god, she's so fine. And then now, after I learned this information, I look at this character and I'm like, hey, grandpa, what's up? And after I realized that I spent like $20 simping for my ancestor in-game, I was like, okay, this is probably a good place to stop. I should probably never play this game ever again. And so now this game, Attack on Time, just sits on my phone screen as like a monument to my foolishness. But it wasn't all bad. I would say that if you're looking for a really fun gacha game and you've not touched grass in like the last 8 years, this is a pretty fun game to play, assuming that your ancestors are not Chinese. My name's KFC Legends. Thanks so much for watching. I don't deserve basic human rights, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.